love it the way that I love it that the way that they were talking about, in these in this article, because they would say, something that we all say, that the Buddhist says, that we are all a bit junkies nowadays. We are all a bit addicted to, addicted to something, addicted to this constant craving of more and more and more and more. So that's what we need to really pay attention to our minds and realize that if we continue following these mental states without paying attention to our minds and where we put our intention, we just keep coming to the same results again and again and again and again and again, isn't it? That's what happens to us. We kind of like, we start to get tired of some situations that we encounter ourselves. It's like, oh, here we go again. I'm here again, like, different person, different situation, different this and that, but blah, again the same situation, the same feeling, that same feeling of like frustration or unhappiness or like dissatisfaction. No, so that's why motivation is so important, and we can build our motivation from where we are at. We don't need to kind of like say, oh, whatever I have is rubbish. No, not like that. We can say, oh, actually, what I have is something that it's good enough, but I want more. I deserve more. And then we start to realize that the basic aspect of our lives is that inner wish, as we talked about a few weeks ago, that inner nature that wants to be happy and don't want to suffer. His Holiness always says that all human beings, all animals, we all share this wish, this primordial wish to be happy and to be free from suffering. And that is what is guiding us right here and right now. However, the problem is not the wish to be happy and the wish to not suffer. It's how we get there. That is our problem now. That is the problem of the world right now. Because that problem, the way we want to solve that problem is that we want to think only about how I get to find happiness and how I get to be free from suffering. Isn't it? Me, 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 me. Do you know this one? I just love it. Zoom just wrote down like here to me. Are you playing music? Because I was me, 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 me. The problem is the way we have our self-esteem, and I'm not talking about good, bad, just self-esteem, the way we see ourselves, the way we approach ourselves, the way we approach that primordial wish to be happy and not suffer, that is the cause of actually our dissatisfaction and misery. Is the way, is the mindset, especially the way comes from this wrong motivation that thinks that if I find and only think about my own happiness, then I will be happy. But the problem comes into that not understanding of this primordial wish that we all share. So if we all share this primordial wish to be happy and not suffer, that means my question to you is that then why my happiness and my wish to be free from suffering is more important than others? If we are exactly the same. So that is when the mind starts to, I always say, is when I first heard about that possibility of actually thinking about the happiness of others as important as mine. I'm not saying forget about mine, just be a doormat, just kind of like allow people to do whatever they want with you, abuse and all of that. No, I'm talking about, wow, think about others, because if you make others happy, you will be happy. So His Holiness used a beautiful phrase that I always loved: be wisely selfish. So you want to be happy, you help others. You want to be happy, you think about others' help, others' happiness. Then you find happiness. So when we're talking about motivation, what we are actually talking about, to be very simple, clean, clear, as Lama Yeshe used to say, is that we are trying to transform this me motivation that contaminates everything that we do with our body, speech, and mind to a motivation that will encompass, that will think about the happiness of others as well. And that motivation is what we call the basis of compassion, right? Compassion means wanting others to be free from suffering. So when I think about others, I think about wanting them to be free from suffering, and I think about love, which is I want them to be happy. So compassion and love are the basic features that are there, which is actually what we need to develop towards ourselves. Self-love and self-compassion. Self-love means I want to find happiness. Self-compassion, I want to be free from suffering. So when we're thinking about others, when we're talking about compassion towards others, we are talking about, okay, I want to eliminate the sufferings of others, and I want to help others to find happiness. So that is love and that is compassion. So in that sense, that's what we are trying to develop. But for that, we need to understand our minds so we can understand what are the causes of our sufferings and what are the causes of our happiness. So that's why wisdom needs to be the basis of it all. And wisdom doesn't mean knowledge. It doesn't mean like I know, what is the day to day. I have knowledge of the weather, or I have knowledge of I don't have knowledge at all of anything mundane or dharma. I'm very stupid. But you guys are smart people, so you guys you have knowledge about things. So then the knowledge is not like this, because the way we think now that we find happiness for ourselves and find happiness for others is exactly the way that we bring suffering for ourselves and others, right? How we try to help others, to them to be happy, we try to control them. We say, you just need to do what I want and you're going to be happy. Or we practice generosity, kind of like saying, yes, if I give you this, but then you need to give me something. That's how we think we help others, right? Or we help others saying, oh, yes, I'm very generous. I give something to you, but take a picture of me so people can think of me being a nice person. Isn't it? Everything is about us in a way. There's no real, authentic generosity, authentic wish to help, because it's still contaminated for this wish of me, 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 me. That is why it's so hard for us to talk about love, because love is so glued with attachment right now. This wish for others to be happy right now is like, where, so what is in there, what is in it for me, right? That's an expression you use. What is in it for, what is, yeah, you say that, what is there for me, or what do I gain? Show me the money, no? Something like that. That's how we are. No, we are like, okay, so show me the money. Where is it? So then that's how we call love. Love, there's nothing to the wish of the other being to be happy without even us, right? So that is when we start to understand that the power of the mind, the power of intention, the power of what we can achieve. And for that, we need inspiration. We need to believe it is possible. Because right now, even though we are the most self-centered people, if I ask you, each of you, to really take a moment and check, do you love yourself unconditionally? Do you help yourself to be free from suffering? Or you can see that you have, habits that are not beneficial and you know it. So that is the point. The point of the Buddhist path and to have beings like the Dalai Lama in the world is to make us believe that we can love ourselves unconditionally. Because right now we still need someone outside to say, I love you. So we can believe that we are worth of love, isn't it? So that is what we need to start working on ourselves. As I say, a good sense of self, a good relationship with ourselves, a relationship that it comes, from this understanding of our potential, understanding of what we can actually achieve. So we need inspiration from outside, from beings that have done incredible things, maybe very different than us, but they're still human beings to show us that it's possible, right? So that's why also when we do what we call, the the Buddhist motivation, the first thing we do is that we visualize these beings, these kind of like people, your teacher or the Buddha or someone that really inspires you to become a better human being, right? Not just like, oh, yes, my mom, my dad, and all of that. Yes, they're very, very incredible people, but people that think in this way, that goes beyond, that goes like, I can actually have unconditional love towards myself and all sentient beings. And that is hard to get. That is hard to meet people like this. You know, I haven't met many, but I have met, and that is what is important because then you start to believe. I still remember, when we were talking so much in the Buddhist courses at Kopan, about loving all sentient beings and, wanting to achieve this enlightened state so we can benefit others, this bodhicitta attitude, which is this word that we use in order to wanting to help and benefit others. How do we want to help and benefit others? Eliminating the causes of the suffering and creating the causes for happiness, right? That's what it is. So how we like, oh, but we cannot do that now because we are contaminated. We have contaminated love and with attachment. So we cannot achieve that. So what we need to do? We need to become a Buddha that has no contamination, no self-cherishing, no self-grasp, no self-centered, that only has compassion towards others and has all the skillful means to help others to achieve happiness. So that was the Buddha. So for that, we say, I want to become a Buddha. So that is bodhicitta. And I remember hearing these and say, these Buddhist people, they are megalomaniacals. Yeah, that's a word, megalomaniacal. They think too big, They are like all sentient beings, all animals, all human beings. They're completely nuts. What are they talking about? You know? I cannot even like the people here in the course or here, that I like have my colleagues at work. I kind of like, oh no, that person is so boring, so like how I can think about all sentient beings, right? Or even in the family, you have difficulties with people in the family, so difficult. So I can think about others like so vast like that. But then I remember meeting Lama Zopa Rinpoche and seeing him walking and taking attention and giving time and attention to each person in a way that I didn't know it was possible, right? And I said, that's what bodhicitta means. Everything that you do, even your breath, it is to benefit others. And how do you feel that? It's not something that you do outside. Rinpoche was just walking and putting, the hand in the head or talking to people, laughing and having a good time is the intention. So the intention is so manifested that just by seeing that person that has that pure intention, you benefit from. That is the power of intention. Because, we say that communication is 80% non-verbal. Like that. So the intention is also communicating 80% nonverbal, just through your actions, through a way of being. So you benefit from that. And people benefit from you. So you don't need to do much. Think about it. You know? You can just live your life normally, but if you manifest that wish, that manifest that intention, that motivation to wanting to benefit others, everything that you do will benefit others. Isn't that amazing? That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible, special. This is one of the features of our potential that we cannot forget. We have all of us, not only the Dalai Lama, these like crazy monks or these Brazilian blah 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 monk like this. Not all of you have this potential, and all of you are doing that already in some levels. But we can expand. So people just seeing us, they because maybe we smile at them, or because we are like relaxed, or because so that inspire them. We don't do with that kind of like intention that, oh, may they like me, so I'm gonna act like this. Oh, no, we just be ourselves, but with the intention to benefit, with the intention to bring benefit to others. That is the power of the mind. That is the power of what we have. And that for me was already like, oh my God, this is amazing. I really want to do that. I really want to do this. When I saw Rinpoche, and I was like, oh, yes, yes, that's what I want. And that was when I really decided, that Buddhism was my path. And I said, yes. And then Rinpoche was going to Laudo, which some of us, we're going to go this year, in the Himalayas, close to the Everest base camp, 4,000 meters, like 11,000 feet, something like this. Maybe I'm completely crazy, but like maybe 11,000 feet. Very high, like there, like very high. And then Rinpoche was going there because that's where he was born, in that area. And and Rinpoche said, and then someone said, oh, Rinpoche is going, you should go. And I said, yes, I go. I had no idea where Laudo is, and no idea what was going on. And I said, yes, I go. And then Rinpoche went, and then I went over there, and we spent 1 month with Rinpoche in these very, very simple conditions, but having fun every day. When I arrived, Rinpoche was speaking in a speakerphone, a megaphone, those megaphones, that like the police use, like blah, 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 chanting for 3.5 hours mantras to the cows and the animals on the valley. 3.5 hours, like blah 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 blah, and then you could just hear, we were walking up, and we could just hear Rinpoche laughing, because sometimes he would just laugh at himself, like because he was like, and he was like laughing at himself, and you could hear the laughter. Just that brought so much joy and relaxation to us, because I was with this other guy, and we were trying to climb, and we couldn't find the path because it was very foggy and started snowy. It was just like one mad, like it was just very funny. And we went up, and we finally get there, and Rinpoche was just making these like mantras and like laughing and having fun. And I said, wow, this is incredible. And then I was there, for a month with Rinpoche, and just having incredible teachings. Even though once Rinpoche gave 4 days of teachings from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening in Tibetan, and I spoke 0 words of Tibetan, 0. And I was just there, and I said, I remember first day sitting there, cold, so cold, and I'm Brazilian, so cold, not my expertise. And I was just there sitting, and then suddenly, I said, oh, I could be anywhere, I could be on the beach. Why? What am I doing here? And then I look at Rinpoche, and Rinpoche was just there giving teachings to these maybe 15 nuns, from like they were maybe 20 years old to 90 years old. And those nuns, they were so devoted, just like listening every word from this being. And I just said, oh, wow. I am in the presence of someone that really just thinks about others, right? And he's just doing this for benefiting these nuns. And I'm here thinking, me. Where is me? Where is me? I want to be in the bee. I can be this, right? So just doing that, by just thinking about them, my mind just like completely relaxed, completely. And I just enjoyed so much. And I said to myself, that was one of the most profound teachings of Rinpoche to me, even though I didn't understand a word. And I was there. When I was there, then Rinpoche left, one day, like after 30 days, 1 month, Rinpoche left. He said, no, I need to go to Nepal. I need to Kathmandu. I need to go to Kathmandu. And then he left. And I was still going to stay for like maybe 2-3 weeks to do some private retreat. And then the next day, Rinpoche leaves, there's an earthquake. Like 2015, there was the big earthquake, and many people died. Thousands of people died. And I almost died over there in the mountains. And I remember thinking, wow, we can actually not even have that security to put our feet on the ground. So that is what kind of like our minds create those kind of like, oh yeah, but I'm gonna survive, but I have everything. Everybody dies, but not me, you know. I'm not gonna die. But then I said, I could have died. And all of these I'm telling you because I'm gonna tell you when I met His Holiness, you know, because that is the most important aspect for me, is that the power of His Holiness. That is the same power we have. That is the goal of today's talk. And then I was there and I almost died. You know, and I remember thinking, oh my God, you know, these hands are gonna disappear, this body is gonna disappear. Where am I gonna go? Right? Just thinking like where I'm gonna go. And then it was just like I said, well, I nothing, my family, my friends, money, anything I cannot bring with me, right? Coffins don't have a like wallet, or don't have like a safe so I can bring my money with me, you know, my things, and don't have anything like that. So everything I just leave. Even the family, the body that I carry and cherish so much, everything's gonna go. So I thought, what do I have? I have the conviction that Rinpoche is going to guide me, and I want to be a better human being, a better being in my next life so I can help others. And that created that peace of mind again. And then I said, okay, so I can die. And then earthquake stops. What comes? It comes back the me, and starts, yes, I survived. Yes, you know? And then it starts again, that feeling of like, okay, me, oh, what do I need? What do I need? You know? And then we stayed over there a few more days, taking care of the people. Nobody died, but everybody was very, you know, shaken by that. And then we went back to Kathmandu. And in Kathmandu, we were helping some other people. But I started to have some sort of kind of like PTSD, say we call post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. So everything that was shaking, because we had aftershakes all the time. So I couldn't sleep. I was constantly in that kind of like reaction mode, you know? I was constantly like, oh, something's gonna happen, something's gonna happen. And then I remember that, you know, the first time I slept well was when I came to Kopan and Rinpoche was there, and I said, okay, so we are here. If everything goes well, bad, okay, Rinpoche is gonna, you know, make fun of us, and then if we die, it's okay. Then we meet again. Then you know that's how you see it. But I was still very stressed, and then I had to leave Nepal. So then I went to Dharamsala, where the Dalai Lama lives. And I was like, you know, just every morning I was doing prostrations in His Holiness temple. And I was just there, you know. And then one day there was this big line of people going, many people going, you know, to see. And I said, what is going on? And they said, oh, you come back 7:30. And I said, okay, I came back. And they said, okay, come. So we were all going to see His Holiness. And I remember just having that expectation of like, wow, yes, you know, but more a little bit like not really knowing what His Holiness was about. And then I remember we had a kata, and we were the last group. It was me and another five people, two Brazilians by chance, and three Americans. So you see the connection we all have here. So we were there. And then we were just going up to see His Holiness. And I remember seeing, when I saw His Holiness, I already started crying, because it was just that pure. Everything was like made in a way to respect and to acknowledge and to love each person. And when I look at inside of the eyes of His Holiness, just in the like very deep, I remember that I felt an unconditional love that even myself don't have for myself, an unconditional compassion that it just doesn't exist, not in me. I don't love myself, and I don't have compassion towards myself in this way. So it made me believe that if He loves me like this, I can also love myself like that. I can want to be free from my sufferings in this way, and accepting all in an unconditional way. So this is the power that we all have within ourselves. It's not because His Holiness is special. As he always says, he's a simple monk. The only thing that he's done is that he really took it as his core practice, the development of this motivation to benefit others. It's just that. He just said, I'm going to live my life with my body, speech, and mind to benefit others. That's what he's done. So that emanates in so many different ways. That's why he decided when he was, 20 something, when he had to decide to leave his own country. Think about it. He was the guy who had to decide to leave his own country because he said, I am not going to make any Tibetan create the karma, create that seed in their minds of killing a Chinese person. I am not. Not on my watch. He said. You know, I'm not gonna allow people to do that. So he decided that it was more beneficial to lose his country than actually for people to create this harmful action of killing another human being. And then because of that, he was also able to kind of like make the Dharma, like, these Buddhist teachings arrive in places like, the US, like, Europe, due to his kindness. Because when he was out of Tibet, he was able to finally reach that. We are not born in Tibet. We are not, well, I don't know, maybe here we have someone that is, the president or the prime minister of a country. But, we don't have those kind of like big decisions. We have mainly small day-to-day decisions, just living in our normal lives. So can we actually try to think about that? Can we try to bring that mind of benefiting others in our daily lives? That's what His Holiness really represents to us. He represents that possibility that we all have to be kind all the time. He has this amazing quote that His Holiness says, always be kind. It's always possible to be kind. Always. It's a choice. Even if someone is screaming at you, you can still be kind. Even if someone, and kindness doesn't mean being passive, being, submissive. But kindness means I want this person to not suffer, right? Kindness, compassion. I'm going to do it in a way that this person doesn't suffer. So that is the power. So that is the intention. That is kind of like the power of the intention that we can do, that we can develop in our minds. That we can actually develop so we can bring about changing the world. Because that is what His Holiness is about as well. It's not about just, a type of compassion and love that is just, oh, okay, we don't do anything. We just, but we actually do something about it. So he created so many incredible situations. He did an incredible meeting. He has a meeting for 35 years or 36 years now with the major scientists from neurobiology, from physics, from quantum mechanics, from neuroscience, from psychologists, from all of that, to develop an understanding and how we can benefit from each other, how science and religion, and philosophy can actually come together. And many of the situations that we are now experiencing or we are benefiting from, about the benefits of meditation or the benefits of actually developing our good qualities, the benefit of decreasing our negative habits, our negative emotion, how to deal with anxiety, how to deal with depression, how to do that, all based on these talks and studies with His Holiness. Most of them. All of these like Stanford, Harvard, Yale, all of these kind of like big Ivy Leagues, all of them participated in this because they all saw the benefit of that. So it's just not like, oh, yes, okay, oh, yeah, that's okay, oh, yeah, we just sit down, in our house and say, oh, everybody may be happy, everybody may be happy. Not like this. We come and do something about it, right? Then His Holiness developed these incredible projects called SEE learning, social, emotional, ethical learning. It's a way to bring the emotional education, to the schools. It's with Emory University. Very special, very special. Because that's what is missing, isn't it? If we all here, we all kind of like, a little bit older, we are not, unfortunately, the Gompa is also not full, not of us, but also full of younger people, like teenagers or younger people. They would benefit so much for these tools. I wish I could have met the Dharma when I was younger, you know? I would have suffered much less than I had suffered because I would have tools to deal with this, tools to deal with the sufferings that comes about in life, isn't it? So His Holiness is also thinking about that, the long-term vision, the long-term, the next generations. That is so special, so, so special. And one of the things that His Holiness now is so strong is the environment. Reminding ourselves that we are one, we live in one world. It's a beautiful book, called One World, I think it is. Our Home, I think, I can remember, something like that. Where His Holiness talks about that all the problems that we have, environmental problems, comes from the selfish mind, the greedy mind, the mind that only thinks about me and my happiness and my success and my material development. I don't care what's going to happen to the world. I don't care if this is like, if the other generations are going to have to live like a difficult, extreme heat, extreme cold and all of that. If that is the mind, everything comes from that mind. Everything comes from that motivation. That's what we need to understand. We need to understand. We already talk about motivation, but today we are talking about the motivation about benefiting others. All of you here can do that. On your daily life, you can manifest that wish. You can manifest that motivation to benefit others. When you're driving, when you're going to the supermarket, when you're going to work, when you're going to the hospital, when you're going to this, to that, everywhere, you can do that. And this is what actually the world needs. The world doesn't need more, kind of like AI solutions. The world needs more human values. That's what His Holiness is about. Ethics, love, compassion, kindness. All of those qualities that all of us we have within ourselves. We all have. But now, as we say, limited, conditioned. I am nice to you, you're, you are nice to me, I'm nice to you. We have this beautiful meditation that we call the equanimity meditation. And that is the basics what we need to actually establish in order to develop compassion. That means that right now, the way we divide the world is, oh, you are nice to me, you give what my attachment wants, you are my friend, best friend. That's what you are. You don't allow me to get what I want, you are my enemy. I hate you. You don't do anything to me, I have no idea who you are. I don't give a damn. You can be lying on the street, you can be hungry, you can be whatever. I don't care. You're a stranger to me. So this is our life. Friends, enemies, strangers. That's what it is. That's how we live our lives. La 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 la, coming here and there, becoming like this. But then sometimes the enemies suddenly become very nice to us. So they become our friends. Suddenly our friends become very nasty to us. They don't do anymore what we want, especially our partners. We get married, we go to the church and we go and we say yes until, in the poverty and richness and, sickness and health and all of that. And then the person starts to be a little bit annoying. Oh God, no, I need to divorce. I can't deal anymore. This person doesn't give me anymore what I want. So then enemy, someone that I was in front of hundreds of people saying that I love until eternity. It's a joke. Joke. So, that's what we do. And then, someone then we don't know, but then That person that we go to the restaurant or we go to the supermarket and that person that we have no idea who they are, we don't care. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna give you a discount," and you're like, "Yes, this person's my best friend, my new best friend, isn't it?" Like this. Or you're driving and someone cuts in front of you, you have no idea who it is. I hate this person. Like that. That's how we are. So volatile. We say that? Volatile? We can say that? That's how we are. We are just kind of like very not based in a deeper understanding of really wishing to be happy and not suffer. We're exactly the same. That stranger who is there maybe suffering because and we don't care is also wanting to be happy and not suffer. That person that we hate because they don't allow us to get what we want, what they actually thinking in their minds is that how can I be happy and not suffer? That's what they're thinking. And what are you doing? Same. So the conclusion is, does it work to live like that? Is it fulfilling to live like that? That's the question. Is it enough? Or we are open-minded to try and use the Buddhist assumption of changing or exchanging, right? That mentality of just me, myself, and I, and enemy, strangers, and friends through a more equanimity, to a more equanimous, that every sentient being, all of these people, they want to be happy and not suffer. And I will take my responsibility to try to help them achieve that. And then you check. You do that and you check if you're going to be happier. And then you check the benefit you can bring to yourself and others. I can say to you, if you want to know if it's working or not, you just check your mind. Am I becoming more kind, happier, relaxed? You know? But don't do that when you are in a bad mood day, because then you're going to definitely think that it's not working. You're going to be like, nothing works. Yeah, blah, blah. No, no, no. One day that you're more relaxed, check just by being kinder, just by being more aware of others, just by thinking about, oh yeah, yeah, wait a minute, I don't need to be, the first in line. I don't need to be the like to take advantage of these. I can actually share these. Oh yeah, let me do that. It was very funny because I was traveling the other day going to see my niece in Sao Paulo, and I was with my dad, who is 88 years old, so he's getting very old and very nice. We were having fun and laughing, and then there was this older lady in front of us, and she had like they were trying to put the heavy luggage on the compartment at the airport at the airplane. And then I said, "Oh, Dad, let me just go." And I said, "Do you need some help?" And she was like, "Oh, thank you." And I just like helped, and she was like very happy, and she sat down in front of me, and she was very smiley, things like that. And then there was this girl, younger girl, and she came and she kind of like was sitting just by on the side of her, and she had a big bag, and the girl was like trying to put, and she was younger, and I was already, I couldn't go out, and then the woman who was in front, who I just helped, she came, she went, and she said, "Oh, let's do it together," and then she put it, and then she looked at me and said, "Very happy." So this is just a small little action, you know and I didn't do it with this intention that she would do that to another person that I didn't even see, that I didn't even see the go, you know? But that is the ripple effect, right? Because no, in many ways, we are completely interconnected and interdependent. So if we are exhalating, I don't know if this is a word, like this energy, this kind of like me, or don't think about others and things like that, then we emanate that. So people don't come close to us, right? If we are angry, if we are that person that is like always complaining and all of that, well, people don't like that goes out. But if we are relaxed and if we are kind and if we are that also emanates in the world. So we are able, without wanting necessarily to make that person help other person to put the luggage, we can do the most beautiful thing we can do in this world, bring about the goodness in others. which has nothing to do with how, oh yes, manipulated and yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that. No, simple. Just by like, oh yeah, okay, human being, yes, needing help, okay, do, yeah, boom, bah. You know, like this, simple. That is what we all can do. That is what we can achieve as a human being, as a person, as a family, as a community, as society, as the world. We have that possibility. We have to remind ourselves for that. And that is the reason why His Holiness is so special. Because He makes us believe in that. I'm going to cry for sure. You know, we cannot not forget that. Because that is like, it makes us believe it is possible because it is doing, He's doing that. The amount of times that His Holiness has been in conversation with all of the different religions saying we need to really practice what we preach. Right? Not because out of kind of like, I'm perfect and you guys are wrong. No, we all need to help each other. So that's what we can do. That's what we have that potential. That's why His Holiness is such an example for us. You know, for all the different people in the world. We all need inspiration. We all need to believe it is possible. Because as we said, right now we don't. And it is possible not because, oh yes, His Holiness is going to save us. No, because we have right now the possibilities inside of us. As we said, we have the possibility of transforming our mind from a selfish mind to an altruistic, to a loving, kind, compassionate, wise mind, thinking about the well-being of others. His Holiness wrote, you know, about, oh, many people are celebrating my birthday and all of that, but the most important is to have a kind heart. That's it. That's the only thing. So on your daily lives, just remember that. I can live my life with a kind heart, a warm heart, which brings to me, because I'm relaxed, I'm warm, I'm, you know, happy because I helped someone, because someone got happy, and, or I can just be in my mind thinking, no, that's how we live life. We wake up and we are already like, okay, what do I need to do? Or why this person, I need to call this person, and this person needs to do this for me, and this person didn't do that, so I need to take that. Blah, blah, blah. Tired. You know, we can do the same thing, totally different. Different intention, different way. That is what Dharma is about. That is what the Buddhist thing is about. It's about transforming ourselves, transforming our intention. An intention, you know, recognizing the one that is we have now, it doesn't work. Just that, it just doesn't work. But it's hard. It's hard for us to actually get to this conclusion that it doesn't work. Because in some ways it's been working. Right? Look, we all have like nice houses, nice cars, like nice life, but is it enough? Are you fulfilled? Are you happy ever after? You know, if you would be in peace, nothing else, then your cup is full so you can then give to others. However, your cup is never full. It's always something missing. A new phone, a new this, a new that, you know, this the food that I like. Oh yes, oh I need to have this. I need to have that. I need to do this. Then we suffer. So that is what we need to eliminate. That is what we need to actually really eliminate from our minds. And develop that attention, develop that mind, that cherish others. Because if you think about it, everything that we have right here and right now, all of these things that we enjoy is due to the kindness of others. Isn't it? We don't have that mentality because we think about that I paid. I paid, so actually that person is just doing their job. That's how we are. But if that person didn't want to have that job, even if you pay, they would not know, would have nobody there to do it. What do you want? Right? Maybe the person doesn't need, so then they don't go. And that happens sometimes. We want to have this or that, and then we can't do it because the person is not there. How many times, isn't it? Our frustrations, mainly our frustrations because of that. Something that we want doesn't happen or doesn't work, and the person who can do that is not there. We are sick, and then we have the doctor. Oh, the doctor's taking too long. Oh, we don't need that. It's taking too this, isn't it? Oh, the internet is down. Where's the internet guy that doesn't come? Oh, the electricity is down. Where's the electricity guy? Isn't it? It's all like this. Our life. Oh, the car is broken. Oh, where's the guy who takes care of the car? It's all like this. It's always like this. We are always completely interdependent of others. So, why? It's a choice. It's a choice. What do you want to do with your life? Okay? What do you want to do with your life? How do you want to live your own life? That is the most important thing, is you choosing moment by moment your intention and your motivation to live. So that's why, because we forget, we need inspiration. That's why His Holiness is so special. That's why we celebrate. Rinpoche, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, was so dedicated to His Holiness because he knew that His Holiness, everything that His Holiness was doing was benefiting others, that I participated in a meeting once because Rinpoche, I don't know what I'd done, but Rinpoche was just so kind to me, just so kind. And once Rinpoche said, Kalden, I'm not wanting to go to these, but you go. You go because Roger needs help. Roger is Rinpoche's assistant. You go and then you take pictures and you come and you tell me everything, blah, blah, blah. And I say, okay, I have no idea where I'm going. I have no idea what I'm doing, but okay, I just say, no. And then we go in Bodh Gaya. So for those that are coming in the pilgrimage, we're going to go to Lauda and we're going to go to Bodh Gaya this year as well. So we went to Bodh Gaya, which is where the Buddha, got enlightened. And we have all the different temples, the different, traditions of Buddhism. It's a very special place. And then Rinpoche has been for many, many years, like maybe 20 years or more, buying some land in that area to build the huge statue, like, I don't know, no idea how many feet, maybe 12, 20 feet, something like that. Huge, like huge. Then His Holiness needed a place to build a university, a place where people could go and learn about Buddhism and all of that. And Rinpoche, without a blink, without thinking for 1 second, Rinpoche said, yes, His Holiness can have the entire land. And they were so shocked because they would say, actually, we were thinking about just asking for one part of the land. Rinpoche said, whatever His Holiness wants, whatever His Holiness wants, because His Holiness, everything His Holiness wants is to benefit others, is to really see looking forward. And I remember that I was in this meeting and then they were saying, yes, because His Holiness wants to build, like this place of kind of like a university. And then, this kind of like a place for people to be, to do some meetings with kind of like scientists and all of that. And also a house for His Holiness. And then I said, oh, His Holiness wants to spend more time in Bodh Gaya. And they said, no, probably, no, the idea is for the 15th Dalai Lama. So he was making arrangements for his next life, how to continue benefiting others in his next life. I am not even thinking about benefiting others after the next moment. Can you think about that? He's already next life thinking, I'm going to come back and I'm going to benefit others. Wow, that is the power of intention. So don't take for granted. Don't take for granted that you don't have that. You don't need to become a monk. You don't need to become a nun. You don't need to do any of this. You just need to work on yourself right here and right now on a daily basis. You can do it. Don't forget that. That is the important thing. You can transform your mind. You can really think about others. You have that potential, that goodness inside of you. And I really hope that all of you in this life, those that are coming to the pilgrimage, that we're going to have the incredible fortunate to meet His Holiness, but all of you that can always have that connection with His Holiness. Because His Holiness says, if you pray for me, I will definitely be there to help you. That's what it is. Maybe he's not going to be there himself, but by cause and effect, by his wish to benefit others and your wish to be helped, that connects. That's how it is. Not magic, Buddhist magic, not like this. There's just like law, cause and effect. If you have request and then the other person request, then cause and effect. That's it. That's just matching, like what's the name of that thing? Tinder, Tinder, match, you look for the, oh, I like this person. Ooh, oh, this person likes you. Ping, like this. Same. Buddhist Tinder. That's how it is, you know? But you do that with intention to benefit. Then, wow, wow, so special. So I really hope you know, some things we might not understand now, and maybe some of you that are new, they are like, oh my God, this monk is completely crazy. He's completely, I have no idea what he's talking about. But I really, really, really wish that all of you can always be guided by His Holiness in your lives, in these life and future lives, because then we are assured to be guided by the perfect teacher that will show us and inspire us the way to actually, benefit others and improve ourselves, be a better human being for ourselves and others. Can you imagine if we have only people in our lives since the moment we are born until we die, like rooting for us, saying, yes, you can be good, yes, you can do that, yes, you can do wow, the amount of things we would be able to accomplish. So that's what you can never forget, that His Holiness is always there rooting for you, even on the bad day, the darkest time of your mind, darkest day that you are in. He's always there loving you. So I really hope, really, 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 really hope that some of these blah, blah, blah was in any way beneficial, that any of you took any benefit from this. I have no possibility of talking about His Holiness qualities, a single word, because His Holiness qualities are vaster than anything. But my discussion group question to you, what you guys need to discuss today, right now, put it into practice right now, is okay, how or what can I do in my life to transform my motivation from the motivation I have now to a more altruistic one? What can I do? How? And you share with each other. You have many people in the Gompa, because by listening to other people, you also inspire each other. We don't need only, we always say that we need the Buddha. So, you have His Holiness as the manifestation of this enlightenment, of this potential that we have. And we have the Dharma, which is what you guys are going to do when you guys are analyzing and trying to transform your mind. This is the Dharma, is inside. The Dharma is not outside. The Dharma is not, putting strange clothes and being in a monastery or like this, not like this. This is Dharma doing in your mind, right here. And then you have the Sangha, which is the community of people that help you, allows you to actually learn more and continue on this path. So you guys, by sharing, you guys can learn from each other and inspire each other. We are here, maybe 20 something people, 30 people together. How good can we bring to the world if we unite ourselves? When I go there in a couple of weeks, we're gonna come together and we're gonna think about something good we can do to the world. Even if it is to Florida. Okay, we're gonna go and clean a beach. We're gonna go and do something. I don't know, whatever it is that is there, we're gonna do together. So you guys start thinking about that as well. What is needed, what we can do. Okay? I'm gonna put you guys to work as well, because I'm very lazy, so I need you guys to help me. It's totally selfish. So that is now what well, let's just do some prayers, because I didn't do any prayers today. I just wish that we can do then just one prayers for the dedication of His Holiness. Jack, do you have one dedication, which is the dedication of that Rinpoche normally gives, which is of His Holiness and the Tibetan people? Let me check
Um,
it.
I have I have the prayer book.
I think that in the
Do
prayer book, let me check if we have there. Tibetan people. No, maybe not. Maybe it's not there. It's a beautiful thing. Ah, no, 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 no. Wait. No. Wait. Let me check because it's a very beautiful practice that Ripshik wrote. No, we don't have in there. You have the essential Buddhist prayers, isn't it? Yeah, it's okay. We can use that. We can just do His Holiness. Then there is a over there. There is at the end there is a long life version of His Holiness. Can you try to find that? Jack, can you try to find the long life praise 271? Yeah, we can do 273. Yeah, for those that have the prayer book over there, 273.
Okay. Yeah.
Venerable Calder.
Yeah, it's on 273 in the gold bar.
273, no? Okay.
273.
Yes. Yes. Rebecca, you wanna?
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think the one you're talking about is in the silver book. Maybe.
No, and
Yeah.
the Tibetan people.
But we can do that.
This is the silver book,
Oh, okay, you got it.
but is this the one?
We
Or
can
is
do
it
that.
different?
We can do
See
that.
what's
We can do
beyond
that. We can do that. So we can just take a moment to really appreciate, even if
There's
we've not
another one.
met with His Holiness, if we don't know His Holiness, but at least, maybe you can say, oh yeah, this guy looks like a nice guy. That's it. It definitely looks like an incredible human being. And then we can just think about all of the benefit that he has brought. He said, I lost my country, but at least I know that the Dharma has, spread. And the Dharma is those tools that can help others to be happy and to find, ways to be free from suffering. So that's what he's spreading in the world. How amazing is that? How incredible is that? So we develop that, that intention that we can continue being guided, that we can continue meeting those teachings again and again in our lives, and that His Holiness can continue being this beacon of light and love and compassion and warmth and wisdom, not only for us, but for all sentient beings, for the entire world. We have that. If His Holiness is, so many people in the world actually connecting and being inspired by His Holiness present. So we make strong prayers that whatever we done today, may we fulfill, those aspirations of His Holiness. May we kind of like, He's there wanting to help us. So we say, okay, we want to be helped. We want to do our job as well together. So we do that with that intention. So we can do the prayers. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are
In the
the
circle of
source of
mountains,
happiness
you are
and
the
good.
source of all
O
happiness and
powerful
good. Oh,
Chenrezig
powerful,
Tenzin Gyatso,
I
please
can
remain
please
until
remain until
samsara ends.
tomorrow. And
Can you go down, Jack? Can you continue? Yeah. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Go down to 74, please. In short, yes. In short, may the good fruit of any extensive prayer to fully protect the land of snows made by the powerful protector Chenrezig in the presence of the Buddhas and their children appear soon here and now. May the nectar stream of the blessings of the lotus holder always enter our hearts and nourish them with strength. May we please you with offerings of dedicated practice, and may we reach beyond the shores of perfect compassionate deeds. Uma. Very good. Very, very good. Thank you so much for doing these prayers and for being here listening. And I highly, really, 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 really ask you to maybe do these discussion group, come together, discuss among yourselves, and check, what you would like to accomplish, what you would like to accomplish when you're thinking about others, how you want to do that. Yeah, come together, the online people and the people over there, maybe in groups of 3 or 4, and share that, share our own goodness with each other. Very important as well. So I see you Monday. See you tomorrow for meditation. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. And thank you also for all of you who are there for participating and for singing happy birthday. Have you already sing happy birthday?
Kalden.
Have you already sing happy birthday to His Holiness?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay.
We're gonna
Don't
do it
forget.
after.
So after that, after the discussion you guys have, and you have an amazing cake. Enjoy the cake as well. His Holiness will be very happy with the cake. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, thank you.
Everybody, thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Bye.
you.